Alright, so normally what I do is place the chest towel, just because we're going to demonstrate as we would work in the massage room. Oh, alright, you're getting all prepped, aren't you? It's like, I'm ready for you. The arm. Lots of MLD therapists want. It's going to be awesome. A lot of MLD therapists say, okay, I'm going to treat your arm, so what I want you to do is put your arm back up over your head for me and rest it on the bolster. For most people that doesn't work longer than a couple of minutes because a few things happen. You've got a neural block here, so you end up with sleepy fingers and sort of pain here and numbness here. And a lot of people who had chest surgery can't stretch to do that, and it's uncomfortable. So there has to be a new way to treat the arm and to hold it for MLD. So there's a very specific routine to this, but once you get it, you'll love it. It's a lot easier than free holding or getting the client to put it up over their head. So the first thing that we do, we pick the client's arm up and we're placing their hand on our outside hip while we're supporting underneath their elbow with our open palm. And we're securing with our elbow onto our hip. Here we go. Relax your arm for me. Massage therapists have a lot of trouble with this. So, the hand's on my hip. This arm's just, securing it. Does that feel comfortable? The hand's open. What I don't want to do is this, start gripping. There's no need there's no need to grip. All you've got to do is just rest it there. And as I'm bending my knee, I'm pumping your arm's relaxed, and I'm not free holding anything. So I'm comfortable. All right. So we pick the arm up, we place the hand on our outside hip, we secure, we take our hand, and the first thing we're going to do is deal with the deltoid pectoral chain, part of our preparation for the axilla. The deltoid pectoral chain is what would be the raglan sleeve line. So that diagonal line there, running from the top of the delt all the way down towards the axilla. Take your hand palm up, turn it over. We're going to use the pads of these two fingers. So this time we're looking down the little finger instead of down the thumb. So I'm just going to push release for 4 passes to the deltoid pectoral chain. 2 finger push release. 2, 3, 4. 2 more passes. Because I want to activate the action of the nodes, and the press release or the pressure to nodes activates them. And the pump comes or the push comes every time I bend my knee, my hand moves forward. So I'm not doing this. It doesn't feel the same for the client, and it doesn't feel the same for you. So just be moving, bending that knee, or on a football if you prefer. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So once you've done 4 passes of that, the next area before we get to the axilla proper is the upper humeral nodes. I'm just going to press your arm down for a second. I need to say something about this. The humeral nodes only sit in that tiny square there. So when I say to you to pump this area, I don't mean pump all the way down the arm. I just want you to pump that area right there, okay? Because the humeral nodes are a little collection just there. So, back to having the arm on our outside hip, securing it. Relax for me. We've done our deltoid pectoral chain. We're going to take the same hand. We're going to point the fingertips towards the table, keep the thumb up, and pump grip. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 passes. 2, 3, 4. 2 more passes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 more pass. All I'm doing is pumping and moving. Push, release. Pump, pump. I'm lifting the anchoring filaments, end of stretch. Can you feel the end of stretch there? Yeah. So I'm just pumping the humeral nodes and that superficial humeral fluid, which is where everyone says is their bingo wing or their tuck shot. Except up here we call it the fairy wing. Okay, so we've done our deltoid pectoral push. We've done our pump grip to the humeral nodes. We take the hand that's been working and we place it under the arm. We slide the other hand up to grip the wrist. And we swivel. So that now this hand is ready to go right into the pit. Let's do that again. Deltoid pectoral push, humeral pump, take the hand that's been working, place it under the elbow. Slide the other hand up so you're in this position. Step the back foot up, step this foot back and spin. So that now the opposite leg's bent. So you just take this long stance here. We take our whole hand and we access. You're not particularly shy. Relax your arm for me, painter. Keep the thumb up. And now we're going to actually work over a node group, full pressure stationary circles. It's exactly like, if you need to just, if you wanted somewhere to put your thumb, place it over the deltoid. Full round circles. Remember which direction you're going in. 2, 3, 4. So you're not poking, you're right in the armpit itself, in the apex. Bend the knee. Full pressure stationary circles to the nodes of the axilla. This is one of the prime areas that you need to do a good job of. Everything in the arm and everything in the chest and upper abdomen is coming to this point. We need to make sure that that is clear. Again, flat hand, fingertips pointing towards the table, full pressure stationary circles. Bend the knee. Drape their hand over the crook of your elbow. 9, 10. Now at this point, all we're going to do is tuck the hand in and swivel. So we were here, and we're going to go through and through and through this, guys. So if you can't remember the dance moves, it's all good. I'm going to put it down on the chart. We're going to do it. We're here. Tuck the hand in. Step the back leg up. Spin. Now I'm ready to pump grip the deltoid. We've got 3 moves on the upper arm. Can I just let that below? Would that be all right? The upper arm consists of 3 areas. Deltoid, all the way down. Bicep area, all the way down. Tricep area, all the way down. Remember, there's a watershed here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to treat the deltoid and then I'm going to pump grip down on the inside of this watershed. Pump grip. 1, 2, and a stretch. I'm getting about 6. 1, 2, 3. Slide back between each pump. 2 more passes. Soft hands, bent knee. Keep the hand that's holding the elbow open and relaxed. And keep your hand down on the palm of the client's hand to hook it in there. Does that feel comfortable for you, Julia? Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Once you've done 4 passes over this area, to treat the biceps, all you do is you put that hand underneath, slide the other hand up, flip across to the other hip. If you want to at this point, you can change legs, you don't have to. What we're going to do now is pump grip to the bicep area all the way down. Place the hand down, relax everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No squeezing with the thumb or the fingers. 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep bending the front knee, keep everything relaxed. Swap legs if you feel like you want to have a go with the other leg. See how you go biomechanically, how comfortable you are. One more pass. 2, 5. So 2 moves on the upper arm done, 1 move to go. I'm going to swap legs back because I like my legs the other way. Relaxing. Okay. Now, scoop grip. You haven't seen this before. Scoop grip, like I said, is to move the fluid that's here up into the pathway towards the axilla. Take your fingertips, place them under the arm, but not so you can see them out the side. So I just want to be able to know that they're there, but I don't want to see them because then I've gone too far. At this point, leave the thumb off and the hand off. Land the hand, so roll the hand around, scoop, pump, scoop, pump, scoop, pump, scoop, pump. Again. See how it's 2 separate moves? And the way that I get the scoop is I'm actually bouncing off my back leg. So I'm doing that. So again, scoop, pump, scoop, pump. So don't tourniquet the arm and don't do any kind of Chinese burn thing. Fingers, land the hand, land the thumb, bend the front knee, pump. Is this hurting your shoulder? Good. All right. And we're going to do 4 passes. You'll probably get about 3 scoops, maybe 4. All right. At that point, you finish with the upper arm. Just place the upper arm down next to the client. And what you're in position to do now is treat the cubital nodes. There's only one thing to do at the elbow, and that's full pressure stationary circles. Lay the flat of the hand into the cubital, and I don't care whether you do it like this. For me, that's biomechanically uncomfortable, so I wouldn't. Or like that, or like that. This is how I normally do it, facing the client's feet. Flat hand, full pressure stationary circles to the nodes. Bend the knee. Exactly the same thing we were doing to the terminus and the same thing that we were doing to the axilla. Full pressure stationary circles. All right, that's it. That's all you've got to do with the elbow. So you've got 3 moves to open the axilla, 3 moves on the upper arm, place the arm down, 1 move on the elbow. All you've got left is 2 moves on the lower arm, and then you move on to the hand. So you can either be like this, or you can be like this. It's up to you. And you're going to pump grip, but you're not going to cross that watershed at the back. So you're going to stay fingertips off. Now watch what happens when I do this. What's happening to the back of Julia's wrist? What am I doing there? As well as pumping with this arm, every time I bend my leg and my knee and I move forward, I pump the wrist as well. Yeah? So, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 passes. Keep the fingertips up. Just use the body of the hand and the thumb. Again. One more pass. And then, once we finish that pass, swap legs and swap hands. Pump grip. Relax your arm for me. Most people will relax automatically when they're asleep. Back to the start. Two passes. And sliding back into place is really not contraindicated at all. It's actually good. Keeps you connected and back in the same position. All right, forearm done. 2 moves. It's all right, guys. I know you're sleepy. All right, 3 moves, 3 moves. 1 move, 2 moves. Total of 9 so far. All right, now we come to the wrist and the hand. Can't write test. Looks like it might write really well. Can I draw on you? Can I do a little check here? I'm going to draw the watersheds and then I'm going to explain to you how they work. All right. So at the wrist, we've got 3 rows of 3. There's a few ways you can treat this. Those arrows are the direction of fluid movement and where you leave those upside down horseshoes open. So we know that in this section of the wrist, it drains straight into the cubital. But we have to leave those little gaps in order for the fluid to know where it's got to go and to allow its space to move. On the palm of the hand, this is what we've got. Now this watershed splits in half. One goes one way, one goes the other. This watershed runs straight through the middle. These watersheds split. Oh, is that too much? Now, see how they're all in opposite directions? This is the palmar drainage. And the point is that except for that central aisle, everything else on the palmar is going to drain to the dorsal surface of the hand and then travel either side of the watershed, wrap around and go up into the axilla. The fingers look like this. It's the only one in all of MLD that works in the opposite direction. So you have to bring the fluid up and over through the nail bed because around each finger there's a solid line that acts as a watershed. So fluid never wraps around the fingers, it only comes up and over through the nail bed. But at the base of each finger, where the little arrows are, where the little crosses are, there's a tiny little collecting duct, and we pumped that duct when we finish each finger. Right, here you go, Tess. Now I'm going to show you how to do it. So we've pumped the forearm, bang, bang, bang. We're ready to work the wrist and the hand. Take 3 fingers, place them down here. 1, 2, 3. Stationary circles with 0 pressure, opening straight towards the cubital nodes. 2, 3. We're going to do one more pass.
So like a horseshoe.
Yeah. All right. Wrist done. Now, we treat the inside of the cone of this pyramid first. Take the tip of your thumb and you do this little caterpillar move. It's push-release, but it's like a little caterpillar moving backwards. Tip of the thumb, flat. Tip, flat. Tip, flat. The flat is where you move back. The tip is where you push the fluid superior. Again, tip, flat. Tip, flat. 2 more passes. This is good for massage therapists, so nice for the hands. Especially that low-grade inflammation process that we're in most of the time if we do more than 20 or 15 massages a week.
A week?
Yeah.
An entire day?
Yeah, well that's that process. So there's always a low-grade inflammatory process happening. All right, we've pushed release through that centre. Now, how do we get this here? Start with the tip of the thumb, wrist up, and bend the knee. 1, 2, 3. This is like the traps roll, directing the fluid. A couple more. 3. And then swap legs and swap hands. This hand, this thumb, 1, 2, especially through the thenar eminence for massage therapists. Direct it with the wrist. This is all in the wrist and the knee, right? So the thumb's down, but the knee and the wrist is what's sending the fluid around. One more. And we come to the top of the watershed where we get our thumbs to meet together and roll apart, because we know that the fluid's moving in the opposite direction at that point. And then we move on to the fingers. Each interphalangeal has its own tiny little circle. Start with the thumb, it's the periphery of the thumb. So 1, 2, 3, come up, over, down the back, pump, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 1, 2, 3. You can see how it goes, starts here, comes round, comes round, comes round, stops, leave an opening, sweep, over the top, down the back, 1, 2, 3, 4. Swap hands. Again, bend the knee in the direction you want to go. Up, over, down, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth until you finish each finger. Up, over, down, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the last one. Up, over, down, pump. And then thread, bend the knees and lift, anchor, flat hand, not like this. Look how bad this is for me. Like this. Pull up, jostle. Is that hurting or is that okay? Just jostle, jostle. So I'm doing 2 separate jostling motions here. This hand's going like that, this hand's tractioning and going like that. And then down next to the client. That's about 7.5 to 8 minutes. That took about half an hour. Is it about half an hour? Yeah, roughly. Yeah. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to step through the other arm. You guys, can you all stand around for another 5? Is that cool? Yep. All right. So we'll tuck this one under here. That's everything now. You can. That's